Number 4, which is don't go out and try to find the next Amazon. See, the mistake that so many people make when it comes now to investing is they say, you know what, I'm going to invest my money in the stock market. I want to find the next Amazon. I want to find the next Nvidia. I want to find the next Tesla. I want to find the next Google. And so now people are trying to find this next hot stock without really understanding how do you research a company, not really understanding how do you value a company, not really understanding how do you listen to an earnings call, not really understanding what is a 10K, what's a 10Q, how do you read a 10K, how do you read an income statement, how do you read a balance sheet, how do you read a cash flow statement. They just throw their money into a random stock. Now, when you do that, you're gambling. Can you win? Sure. Can you lose? Yeah. But if you want to mitigate some of the risk, one of the simplest things that you can do, especially if you're just getting started as an investor, is just use your money to go and buy the stock market. You don't have to go out and find an individual company. You can just put your money into the stock market. Now you lower your risk and you get the gains when the stock market goes up. Now you're going to say, but Jaspreet, how do I do that? There are funds that give you exposure to the stock market. I'll give you an example. I'm not telling you what to invest in, give you an example. VTI. This is an ETF. That means you can buy it and sell it just like any other stock in the stock market. But if you buy one share of VTI, you're getting exposure to the total stock market. And so now, what are you doing? You're just investing your money into the stock market. There are other funds like SPY. This is a fund that gives you exposure to the S&P 500. This is a group of the 500 largest companies in the stock market. So now, instead of trying to go out and find the next Amazon or the next Tesla, which can make you very rich, but can also make you very broke if you lose all of your money, if you don't know what you're doing, the alternative is just put your money to the stock market and let the stock market do its thing, but don't get your mind caught up in the emotional roller coaster, because the reality is markets go up and they go down. That's the part of the system. And when markets go down, you don't want to panic and sell. That's when you want to buy even more. Now, before I move on to number 5, I want to remind you that on May 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm hosting a live, free, and virtual stock market mastery workshop. This is my first time doing a stock market workshop where I'm going to be going over my own stock market investing strategies. I'm going to be going over how I invest my money passively into the stock market, how do I find funds that I want to invest in, and also how do I invest my money actively? How do I find undervalued companies? How do I research companies? How do you actually do the type of fundamental analysis? So this is a completely free workshop. I would love for you to join me. If you'd like to join me, well, I got the link for you down in the description below. Number 5 is do not overpay the IRS. And the thing you have to understand here is one of the largest expenses for most Americans is taxes. And if you're working a job, if you're a W-2 employee, what ends up happening is your taxes are often just pulled out of your paycheck before you even get to see it. Like if you're making $5,000 a month, you probably noticed those $5,000 don't actually hit your bank account because a lot of the money goes to taxes. Well, one of the things that I want you to do, especially as you start to earn more money, especially as you start to invest your money, especially if you're a contractor, especially if you have your own business, especially if you have a unique financial situation, is I want you to make sure that you're maximizing your deductions and that you're not overpaying money to the IRS. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do this, and this is going to depend on where you are financially. But if you own a business or you're a high net worth investor, you have to. There's really no exceptions to this. You have to get yourself an accountant, a tax advisor that's going to help you manage your taxes. A strong and a successful tax advisor isn't just going to file your taxes. I've been there. You want somebody that's going to do your bookkeeping and then do tax strategizing with you. That means they're going to meet you maybe every month or every quarter, and they're going to talk about what is your tax liability, and they're going to talk about what are your options to potentially pay less money in taxes legally, because every year, guess what? The tax code is changing. So you want to make sure you have that. Now, if you don't have a business, if you're not a high net worth investor, are you out of options? No. Now, if you're just a W-2 employee and you have some stock market investments, that doesn't mean that there aren't ways for you to make sure you're not overpaying in taxes. But you don't want to overpay in accounting fees either. Like you don't want to pay $1,000 a month just to review your taxes. If that's you, what you want to be doing is look for ways now to get your tax bill reviewed. Now, there's a lot of services that do this. I'm not affiliated with any of them. Just go to Google and search tax review services. They might cost you $50, $100, $200, depending on how much money you're making. It might be more valuable for you to go out and check this, but just make sure you're not overpaying in taxes, because the reality is the tax code is 2,000 pages long. It's not worth your time to know that you're maximizing every deduction. And so if you can pay somebody $100, a couple $100, it could save you a lot of money and a lot of headache just to make sure you're not overpaying in taxes. The 6th hack to help you get richer faster is to double your income. Now, I know what you're going to say. Jaspreet, if it was only that easy. Yeah, I understand, but guess what? I can pretty much guarantee that if you were able to stick with it, you could double your income in the next 5 years. Now, how do you do that? That means you got to invest in your own income. And that means if you are working a job, you might have to change careers. You might have to go out and get a certificate. You might have to spend your evenings and weekends learning a new skill. Because guess what? There's a lot of new online programs out there that can help you learn a new skill, that can help you earn more money, that can help you be a more qualified employee and get a better job. Now, is it going to happen overnight? No. But you will have that skill set that can allow you to earn more money. If it's not from your own job, maybe that means from your own business. And guess what? It's the exact same thing. If you're running a business, there are a lot of ways for you to earn more money. And one of the things that can help you get there faster is by investing some money in your own education. Maybe you hire a coach, maybe you hire a consultant, maybe you buy some classes or you read some books on how you can earn some more money. There's a wealth of knowledge online that you can start with for free. But now, if you understand the way that the system works, if you're going to spend 75% of what you make, invest 15 cents and save 10 cents, if you want to invest more money, you got to have more money coming in. And so now the question is, how can you have more money coming in? Well, you're going to have to earn more money. And the reality is there's already a lot of money out there. All you got to do is figure out how you can attract more money for yourself. And this is possible. I don't care what your career is. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your degree is or if you don't have a degree. I don't care how you look. There's so much information out there. And if you apply yourself in the next 5 years, you can double how much money you're making. And if you double how much money you're making, well, you can at least double how much money you're investing, if not more, if you don't increase your lifestyle as much. And if you want to be wealthier faster, you got to increase how much money you're investing. That way you can get to your wealthy number faster. Number 7 is commit to improving a little bit every day, even when it's uncomfortable. So I have these 2 little nieces that I spend a lot of time with, and they're adorable. But one of the things that I like to do with them is make sure they brush their teeth before they go to sleep. And that can be hard because if you fall asleep when you're watching a movie, the last thing you want to do is wake up and brush your teeth before you go into bed. But I try to make that a habit. Look, if you want to go to sleep, you got to brush your teeth first. It's uncomfortable, but it starts building those good habits even when things are uncomfortable. And it's the exact same thing with your money. If you're not brushing your teeth at nighttime because you don't want to, how are you going to save your money when you don't want to? How are you going to invest your money when you don't want to? And this is where you got to do the things that got to be done even if it's uncomfortable. And little steps forward start to add up. But you got to make sure you're taking these little steps every single day, saving a little bit of money every single day, investing a little bit of money every single day. These little steps add up if you stick with it, even when it's uncomfortable, because then you're going to look back 5 years from now and you're going to be thankful that you took care of your financial health. Not just your mouth and gum health, but also your financial health. And it's the same thing with learning. If you want to be better at what you do, if you want to improve yourself, one of the simplest and most accessible ways to do that is by reading books. Now, I get it. Reading is hard. It's tough. I don't really like reading. I listen to Audible now. But if you want to be able to consume more information, just make it a habit that you have to read 10 pages before you sleep, no matter what. Even if you're tired, even if it's a long day, even if you came back from a vacation, you came back from a party really late, you got to read those 10 pages. If you do that, well, that's going to add up day after day after day, week after week after week, month after month after month, year after year after year. But you got to stay committed because that's going to allow you to make that progress. And it's that discipline of you continuing to do the things you got to do because it's got to be done. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.